Hi people, how are you doing? And welcome to another Survive the Night content. Yes! JojonoMg has finally uploaded a new video of Survive the Night. It's been a long while since I haven't made a video about this game. It's just that lately I have been working on what will be my own Roblox projects or trying to collaborate with other users to work for them. And I'm currently working on one, but I shall not mention it until it's made public. So when I have the chance to tell you about it, I'll tell you about it. And I will talk a little bit about my reasons why I'm not so active on YouTube right now. All that at the end of the video. So let me start with the part that interests you the most in this video. The reason why you came and clicked this video. In this video, we're going to talk about the worst slashers in Survive the Night. Slashers that nowadays are not able to stand out very well, either because of the maps or because they're better characters than them or because they're very weak. So it's important to clarify that this is my opinion, okay? And not all of them are, pay attention, because not all of them are really bad slashers, okay? Each one can offer you good games in good hands. This top will take into account how efficient the slashers are for the games of this current update. Some of them will be good options to keep playing by chance, and others not so much, if you know the survivors you're facing. And we will also look at their best traits so that you have the chance to make them shine a little bit at least. And we will begin with the place number 5, Chiniak. For some time, Chiniak has been a decent slasher and rarely seen in games because few use it. Some people did not realize, but this slasher is at the top number 5 because today it's still a decent slasher. This is still a good option to break the doors of the map and has a small added bonus: reach your victims by the speed of his ability. But what is wrong with this slasher? Because of the balance changes in this update, there are certain combinations that keep this slasher out of reach of his victims or make it difficult for him to kill them. Even though his ability allows him to attack faster and run slightly faster, it is not enough to kill a whole team of loopers, okay? It could be a good option to kill an individual, but the problem is when the group is unit, like they're sticking together, and you don't have many probabilities to kill even one of them when they are protecting them in the whole round. The ones under him can be bad options if you know very well which team of survivors you are going to face. His best maps tend to be the close maps because it will give you opportunities to not lose sight of your victims so easily, and maybe you can kill them all if you manage to eliminate their important members of the team. That makes them stand. And your best traits can be sharpened blade to improve your damage and make your movement speed more effective, piercing roar to destroy multiple objects around you so you don't have to waste your attacks, and if you want to run faster, you can use Snipes Out if you want. Number 4 stands for Fallen. One of my favorite slashers, but also plays in this top. Fallen at its launch was very feared by players because of her ability, that although it's not very original because Myers fulfills this role. This slasher had its moments where it was threatening slasher, but with time, the players already knew how to avoid this slasher, and little by little it became one of the weakest slasher, and it also made Myers look like the worst versatile slasher. But this was solved by his buff, but after that, Fallen has had no changes until the balance changes of this update. The recent changes this slasher has got is the remove of the slow effect she gets when you activate her ability, and also when she jump scares you, she has 1 second more to get a free hit. So you're probably thinking, oh well, when she jump scares me, I have no other thing to do more than suffer. This is actually good for this slasher because it was very weak, not gonna lie, but then Honestly, for me, this change wasn't enough to place it in the best slashers. Let's clarify something, okay? This slasher is not made to kill multiple survivors at once, much less kill one fast. Even though its slowness has been removed, it is still a slow slasher. This slasher takes its time to surprise its victims in unpredictable places. Whether you do it for fun, or because you know how to use it so well that finding face to face with a survivor, you know it's his end. Fallen is a good slasher, okay? Fallen is a good slasher for pressuring, scaring, and killing individuals, but it is not strong enough to get rid of survivors with tank perks, or too much health perks, or gears that serve for protection. Most of the survivors use gear to heal and build obstacles that could hinder you too much in your matches. The maps where Fallen come to terrorize players can be any map, depending on which group you face, okay? The hiders have pressure not knowing where you are. Hardly a survivor can escape from you if they use their gear before you jump scare them. Your only problem is going to be survivors with night vision, CCTV, or gears that can detect you. Her best traits are Horrifying, as an extra perk to keep your victims at your reach, and Piercing Roar in case you have to jump scare but you can get a free hit if the survivor hides inside the object. Third place for Lady. We are with a slasher that had its moments of being quite used, but over time it was forgotten. Today Lady is not very well with the current balance changes, nor it was short time before this update, all because this slasher is no longer a perfect option for what it was created for, to finish off an entire team of survivors. While it used to work very well, now its function is somewhat outdated by the new gears and their combinations. Plus there are players who already know how to deal with this slasher that has become one of the weakest. Whether you like it or not, this slasher is no longer as threatening as it used to be in her glory days. Nowadays, players choose to other slashers that are more difficult to face than her. She no longer causes so much impact to the whole team, but she still works against lone survivors. Depending on what equipment do they carry, you have a chance to kill more than one. Your problems with Lady will be against users with Master Key and Branch combined. Besides the fact that there are tanks in the team makes Lady not very effective to kill fast. And if you have a survivor with toolkit, it will be better to kill them first to keep the loop zones destroyed, if the maps where she can shine are the ones with few doors to create loop zones. This way, Lady has her victims invulnerable and they can last long running away from you. And to get the most out of this slasher is to use the Piercing Roar shades that cause more destruction than you already cause, Sharpened Blade or Heavy Hitter if you want more damage, I don't know, and Speedy Slash. This last trait had a damage nerf, but that doesn't mean it's not still a good trait for destroying obstacles faster, as if it was Chiniac. Second place for Nocturne. It's clear that this could get me into a polemic for putting this slasher in such a high position because they received buffs in this update. But even so, there are gears and combinations that make his ability still useless and humiliate him completely. Gears like Camera, Rod Flare, Ayla Supply Box with Payload, even combinations with Speed or Love Breed perks are Nocturne's weakest points. Since the buff of these gears apply to the duration of blinding the slasher, with the exception of Rod Flare, since the only buff that gear has got was its recharge time, I mean its cooldown, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it is one of the best gears to lose sight of this slasher. Previously, Nocturne will teleport to the nearest survivor and he will stay still until he finishes his teleport animation, but his buffs made him able to move during the teleportation, apart from blubbering the volume of his screams of course. But seriously, this buff didn't cause much impact even so. There are still tiers apart from those already mentioned that can give the survivors a chance to escape from him either forever or for a long enough time to make them lose time to kill all the survivors. This slasher is not a good option if you're going to face a whole team of survivors. It is preferable that you use it when there are people hiding or roaming around the map, or if there is not an organized team of survivors. A type that I recommend to not lose the survivors from your sight, it is to save the detect ability to use it after you have teleported them. You won't lose them from your sight so easily, and you have a chance to finish them all. You can do very well in any map, especially in the open field map, since there are not many ways for survivors to escape from Nocturne because there are not so many obstacles in your way to distract you. His best traits can be Heightened Senses to recharge detect faster and Orify to keep them in range. Honestly, that trait is so strong, like it needs a nerf. And we finally reach to the worst slasher in the game. Yes, this is sad, people, because this slasher has been so useless back in time, or not even used by most people. So that's why, not only because of that, it's in the first spot, in the first place. But the first place we got Parasite. Whatever you say, this slasher never seemed to me a slasher has treated it as its ability describes. Problems with this slasher: his ability is not very original. That it's not very original, it doesn't mean it's bad. It can be used for a few things. He has a few seconds of the same speed as Murderer, I think, until at the end he slows down and makes an area attack that destroys everything in his path, and damages the survivors in its area as well. It's not that much damage in the area, it's a weird hitbox when you're moving. It feels like another melee attack, but with 2 damage. A bit hard to hit if you ask me. Parasite can be used to reach your victims and destroy obstacles around you while you do it, but it has counters that make his ability absurd. There are multiple gears that made his ability useless, as it will be with gears that blind, immobilize, or slow down. And yes, you will find most of these combinations with those effects against you. But this can also happen to other slashers, don't worry. But unless in the case of Murderer, he still has a chance to reach his victims because the duration of his ability is long. Nightfall with his trait, and Swashbuckler Merch and Enenra if they have their ability activated. The truth is that these slashers are better options than Parasite if you ask me. I hope he gets buffs to his ability or a rework, since you can do much with this slasher. His best maps are the maps with few places to loop, like Village, Guest House, Dungeon, Shipyard, and Orb Hill energies. Playing in those maps, you will have at least chances to win against durable teams. Some traits that could be great for you are Orifine or Sharpened Blade. And with this slasher, we finish this top. Tell me, did any of these slashers deserve to be in this state? Do you think any of them need changes? Am I really right with putting them in this top? Let me know everything in the comments that I will be reading. Excuse me for not spelling very well that word, but remember, English is not my main language, it's Spanish. Lo saben muy bien. I might not make much content for this game since I stopped uploading videos of this game. I have run out of ideas. Even Pumpkin has run out of ideas to make Survive the Night content. But that doesn't mean we will abandon the community or the game. Like me, some content creators have faith that this game will improve and offer interesting things to get the attention it deserves. I'll keep doing my stuff. I will probably keep uploading content to YouTube, only it won't be always about Survive the Night, because as I said, this game is running out of content and there aren't many ideas anymore. So the next Survive the Night video will be about the best slashers in the current meta. Hope so. So people, see you in another video. Glad to return. Goodbye.